I don't know what happened, but here we are. Hi guys, it's Katie. Thank you for checking out this video. Obviously, we're ranking my bronzers. Before I pulled them all out together, I thought that I probably had like a justifiable amount of bronzers. I love bronzers. They're one of my weaknesses besides lips. But when I did pull them all out and started putting them in order, 14. That's what I have, 14. So we're going to rank them. I just want to say, I feel like everybody says this when they rank their products, but I truly, like if I don't like something in my collection, if I try it, even if it's brand new, and I use it a few times and I don't like it, I straight up pass it on. I don't keep it in my collection to do like a declutter or something. I pass it on right away. So I truly do use everything that I have. No, I don't need this many. So my number 14 bronzer, I still use it. Now, if I decided to do this video tomorrow or next week, the order would probably be pretty different. So take this with a grain of salt. It's just a fun video to do. So let's get started. Okay, in at number 14, basically just because it's an older formula, so it's not as creamy as some bronzers today. It is the Sephora Collection bronzer in the shade Los Cabos. This was supposed to be, I remember I went to Sephora to get the NARS Laguna bronzer because that was everything I heard about. And I wasn't really familiar with bronzers yet. Very first bronzer. So anyway, I went to Sephora to get the NARS Laguna bronzer and it was sold out. And the worker told me that this Sephora one in Los Cabos was pretty much the same thing. So I got it and I used it for quite a while, but, oh geez. I used it for quite a while, but again, I kept buying bronzers and the formulas kept getting better and better. So for that reason alone, I don't use this as much. Number 13. So I like the formula on these. And I was kind of shocked that it was this low. But the shade I have is just too orange for me. And it's the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade 04 Glow. I know they have a shade, and I know they've reformulated these, or at least repackaged them, but probably reformulated as well since then. I know a lot of people I see have the shade Dolce, and so I might try that one eventually, but when I put this against all my other bronzers, like I said, it's just too orange. I do like the baked formula, gives it a little bit of a shine, but not too much glitter. Here it is. But hopefully you can see, even compared to the Sephora one, it just has more orange in it. I do like that it's a rather thin formula that you kind of have to build up if you want it to show up, but I don't mind that sometimes. This was part of a point perk, I think, at Sephora. It's the Bare Minerals bronzer in the shade Warmth. And I know they're pretty famous for their loose bronzer in the shade Warmth, and I don't know if this is just a thing with this mini bronzer or if it's the pressed formula in general, but it's just really hard to get it to transfer sometimes, like from your brush to your face. But it is a really nice color, a little bit of yellow undertones. I haven't used it a ton, so I don't have a ton to say about it. It just the pressed formula is a little bit hardly pressed. Hopefully you know what that means. Okay, the next one is a Morphe bronzer in the shade Celebutaunte. And I got this because I was all about the glow. I still am. And it has a matte side and a bit of a shimmery side. obviously you can see from my swirls, I just mix them together. Now, on the opposite spectrum as the Bare Minerals one, this one is very, very pigmented, almost to its detriment. So it's almost too pigmented. I have to be so careful, use a light hand, but I really do like the formula when you mix them together. Okay, I'm going the wrong way with my swatches. I need to go this way. I'm going down. So that is Celebutaunte by Morphe. But I have gotten compliments when I've worn this before. The Hourglass bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. These Hourglass products, man, one person I watch will be obsessed with them and think they're the greatest formula ever. The next person I watch will say they're totally not worth it. I like it. I really like the formula. It is unique. It's just this very like soft and powdery formula, but not too powdery. I like this shade when I have a tan. When I don't have a tan, it does pull a little deep, a little orange. So this is the shade, what did I say? Luminous Bronze Light by Hourglass. Never swatched all my bronzers together, so it's interesting to see the similarities and differences in the shades. I was influenced by Kathleen Lights to get this one. It is the Too Faced Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer in the shade Sweet Tea. Again, this was back when I was first looking for luminous and glowy bronzers. It's one of those like two-toned ones, but again, I just swirl it all together. It very much has that baked feeling to it. I really like this one because the undertones are just slightly less orange than the previous ones when it comes to my glowy bronzers. I do find with this one though, because it is that baked formula and it picks up a lot of product, that I have to be really careful to not dig in too deep when I go in with a brush. Okay, and the next one is technically a blush, but I use it for my contour. I was influenced to buy this by Arna Arlane. He found this LA Girl Just Blushing Blush in the shade Just Because. And it is very much that cool toned gray, very soft formula. I would recommend this formula in a blush shade, but it is very much that cool toned gray, muddy undertone, and you'll see this compared to, I'm trying to move my swatches. You'll see this compared to my true bronzers. This is very much just for contour. But if you're light, if you're fair to light skin tone, it really does work as a very pretty contour. You just have to be careful you don't get too much and look too muddy. But it is supposed to be a very neutral, cool undertone to create that shadow under your cheekbone. My other true contour, and it is my cream contour by Jordana. It is their Sculpt and Go creamy contour stick. The reason this one is ranked higher than the LA Girl one is simply because right now I am all about the creams. I've got dry skin. I just really like cream products. It's very easy with the shape of this to just go right underneath your cheekbone. Very easy to blend. Like, you don't have to worry about drawing it, then blending right away. You can draw both sides. You can draw all over your face and then go in with the brush or sponge to blend it. So you'll see right here, again, a true contour shade for someone like me. However, Jordana went out of business at the end of last year, so I won't be getting that one again. The only con I have to this is it doesn't last as long as the next cream formula I'm going to show you. It just fades a little bit quicker than even the LA Girl one. And these two are really, really neck and neck. I just, again, right now I'm into creams, so I picked the Jordana one, but this one, they're really just the same. Other cream formula, and I feel like everybody has this in their collection on YouTube. It is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked. A really great cream formula, very long lasting, very creamy and blendable. You will see the difference between this one and the Jordana one, in that it is very much a bronzer with more of those bronzy copper orange undertones. It can get a little orange for me if I'm too heavy-handed, which can happen because I love bronzer and blush. I also love their cream blush sticks. I have one in a mini. When I bought this, they did not have this in a mini, but they do now for I think $15. And I would really suggest getting a mini first. One, just to see if you like it and it goes with your skin tone. Two, because I don't know when I'll ever use this thing up. Some people say it smells really bad, and yeah, if you stick it to your nose, the smell isn't that pleasant, but I have never noticed it when I've put it on my face. Top 5. This one, number 5, is also, I don't think, any longer available, and it's a very niche shade, but I had to include it because it is my favorite summertime bronzer. It is the Urban Decay Beached Collection bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. The reason I love this so much is because in the summertime, when you have that natural bronze tan going, this is that perfect red undertone bronzer that will not only like bring out your tan, but it gives you that freshly tanned, a little bit, I don't want to say burnt because people will be like, why do you want to look burnt? But if you look at the shade right here, it just has a little bit more of a red undertone compared to anything else. You know, these are orangey, these are contours. This one truly stands out on its own in my collection. It makes your skin look like you just came in from a day at the beach. It will bring out that freshly tanned look in your face. Have I said that enough? Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in Tan-Tastic. It is huge. You don't need a bronzer this big. You certainly don't need a bronzer this big when you have 13 other bronzers. However, it is a very creamy matte bronzer. The formula is great. It should be. It's Marc Jacobs. It had the undertone leans a little more neutral, so I like that as well. You'll find that to be a common theme with my top bronzers. It's a little more neutral, so it can kind of almost sculpt and contour at the same time. This has 0.8 ounces. Most bronzers have like around 0.3 ounces, so it's huge, but it is such a soft and creamy formula. If I am doing my makeup and I have to do it really quick and I don't want to think about what kind of bronzer I want, what kind of undertone, what kind of formula, whatever, this is the bronzer I go to just because it's so simple and looks good every time. You can't go wrong with it. Top 3. Number 3 is a bronzer that had its moment for like 2 years. And it is good. It is. It's number 3. It is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I am in just the standard bronzer shade. They do have a light one, a deeper one, a sculpted one. This, again, the reason I love this, the packaging, come on, let's get better. The reason I love this is because it has a nice satin finish. And I don't have a lot of bronzers that do that. They're either like a kind of shimmery glowy finish, or they're a matte finish, or they're a cream. This is right in the middle with that kind of just satin, healthy looking finish. Again, its undertones for me lean a little more neutral, which I like because you kind of can contour and bronze in the same And it's not an overly powdery formula, so you can really build it up. I mean, there's a reason everybody and their sister had this and talked about it, because it is a really good bronzer. Number 2 is my newest bronzer, but I love it. It is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It in the shade 01 Light. I love everything in the L'Oreal Lumi line. I do. I have had this bronzer on my wish list for years at this point. It is kind of like that Physicians Formula bronzer where it has that satin, sheeny finish, but it's not like, it doesn't have like sparkles in it. Where am I going here? But you can even see, like, when I move it in the light, hopefully, that it just, when you move your face, the light kind of bounces off of it in a very pretty way. I'm trying to show you up close. I can't really detect any little shimmers or glitters in it, but somehow it just has that satin glow. It's really healthy. Again, like I've said with the past ones, more of a neutral undertone, so you can put it all over. And my number 1 bronzer, very creamy powder, a very neutral undertone without being a contour shade. And like I've said for the past like 3 choices, this one you can truly sculpt and bronze with it. The packaging is no fuss. I don't know what other good things I can say about it besides it's number 1 out of 14. It is the Balm Take Home the Bronze. I think the shade is Oliver. It literally says anti-orange on it, and that's what it is. You can see when I compare it to something that is a true contour for me, like the LA Girl, you can see it's not quite as cool toned as the contour, so it does have just enough of the bronze undertone in it to make it able to do everything you want it to do. The formula is so buttery, but not too soft that it kicks up a lot of product. It's magnetized packaging, has a little mirror in it, and you know what? I'm just going to put it right here. Very nicely pigmented. Hopefully you can see why, compared to everything I have, I kind of have noticed a theme. My more orangey bronzers were at the bottom of my ranking, contours in the middle, and more neutral do-it-all shades at the top there. But there we are with my 14 bronzers ranked. Like I said, if I did this tomorrow, I may have a few changes in it. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for checking out this video. And if you want to see other things in my collection ranked, leave a comment. I know I don't have that many subscribers right now. But if you see this and you want to leave a comment, please do. I can rank blushes, highlights, neutral eyeshadows, colorful eyeshadows, all that good stuff. Okay, bye guys. Thanks for watching.